Hi Maggie.
Hi.
Me and Jess thought we'd read you some more stories. I hope you like them. Jess is going to read 3 and I'm going to read 3. So I'll hand you over to Jessie.
At the End of the Rainbow by A.H. Benjamin and John Bendel Brunello. Wow, gasped Badger and Fox. It's beautiful. A bright, clear rainbow hung in the sky like a jewel. Badger and Fox stood gazing at the bright colours. Then Badger said, "You know there's a treasure at the end of the rainbow." "What treasure?" asked Fox. "I'm not sure," replied Badger, "but I think it's gold or silver jewels. Something that will make you rich forever and ever." "Let's go and find this treasure," cried Fox excitedly. And they were off, racing towards the nearby woods. As the two friends hurried along, all they could think of was treasure. What did it look like? Was it big or small? What colour was it? Just then they noticed Squirrel sitting in front of a pile of acorns. "My treasure," he was singing to himself. "My beautiful treasure." Badger and Fox scampered up to Squirrel. "Go away," he ordered. "You're not stealing my treasure." "That's not treasure," said Fox. "That's just a pile of acorns." "It's treasure to me," replied Squirrel. "It's my food for the winter." "What's more important than that?" "Well, we're going to find the real thing," said Badger, and the friends raced off. Soon Badger and Fox came to a small river. Among the reeds they spotted Mother Duck. "My little treasure," she was calling. "Where are you?" Badger and Fox were curious. "Are you looking for treasure?" they asked. "Yes, my own little treasure," replied Mother Duck. "Oh, look, there he is." A golden fluffy duckling came pattering along. Mother Duck tucked him under her wing. "Don't disappear like that," she said gently. You'll have me worried, my treasure." Badger and Fox looked puzzled. "Is that your treasure?" they said. "Of course," smiled Mother Duck proudly. "I love my baby more than anything in the whole world, so he is a treasure to me. Aren't you, my little one? Now let's go home." Badger and Fox rushed on, eager to find their treasure at the end of the rainbow. They clambered up a steep, bumpy hill and found Old Hare sitting at the top. "Hello there," he greeted. "Hello," called the friends. "We're on our way to find treasure." "Ah," nodded Old Hare, "I have lots of that." "Really? Where?" they asked. Old Hare patted his head. "Here," he said. "My memories are my treasure. They make me happy." "What are memories?" asked Badger. "They're all that you remember from the past," said Old Hare. "Things you've done, places you visited, friends you've loved. Your adventure today will become a memory you'll treasure one day. So enjoy yourselves, little ones." "Goodbye," called Badger and Fox, and they were off sliding down the other side of the hill. Just then, thick, dark clouds filled the sky. The rainbow vanished. It started to rain harder and harder. Badger and Fox had to take shelter. "We'll never find our treasure now," said Badger miserably. As they waited for the rain to stop, the friends remembered Squirrel, how happy he was just to have enough food, and Mother Duck and her love for her baby. Old Hare was happy too because he had his memories. They all had their own kind of treasure. Maybe treasure wasn't gold and silver and jewels. It was what you loved, something very special, and something made you happy. Fox looked at Badger and Badger looked at Fox. "You're a treasure," said Badger, jumping up. "You're a treasure too," said Fox, skipping around. And they started laughing and dancing until they could dance no more. At last the rain stopped and the sun came out again. The two friends happily made their way back home. Far, far behind them, a new rainbow had appeared in the sky, but neither Badger nor Fox noticed. The end.
Mrs. Broomstick's School for Witches by Joanna Dillon and illustrated by Rebecca McKillop Thornborough. When the sun sets, it's time for class to begin at Miss Broomstick's school. During the day, it is a regular school, but when night falls, Miss Broomstick waves her wand and transforms the building into a perfect school for young witches. The students are filing in. Pandora is last in line. She's almost late again. "Good evening, little witches," says Miss Broomstick. "Tonight we will learn some exciting lessons. I know you will all be careful listeners. You are our wonderful students." Now that is a good way to warm the hearts of the little witches on this crisp October evening. "Which little witch remembers which lesson is first?" Miss Broomstick asked. "I do," Pandora calls out. "We learn to ride our brooms." Pandora runs to the broom corner and the other little witches hurry along behind her. Now she's first in line, not last. The little witches are new at flying. Notice how they fly their broomsticks close to the ground. They don't want to fall far. Great bats and cats," cries Mrs. Broomstick. "Pandora is doing a handstand on her broom." "Please sit on that broom, Pandora," Miss Broomstick says sternly. "Remember what I said about safety." Crash! "Oh, my poor little witch." "Are you okay, dear?" Mrs. Broomstick helps Pandora up. "Don't worry, Pumpkin. Someday you will be a top flight witch. Just listen to all the directions before you start." Miss Broomstick leads the little witches to the black cat room. "It's kitten time," the teacher says. "You must train your very own black kitten to be good. Now, a great witch's cat." The students pet and play with their kittens. Their kittens love their little witches. Pandora's kitten teases her by playing hide and seek. "Pandora," says Miss Broomstick, "the kitten is your pet. You are not the kitten's pet." Just like little witches, kittens are not born knowing how to use magic. The students must teach them. Today the kittens are learning to change into baby ravens. "Excellent, excellent," said Miss Broomstick. "But wait, what is that terrible smell?" "It's us, Miss Broomstick," wails Pandora. "My kitten's turned into a skunk." Miss Broomstick smiles and shakes her head. "Remember to listen to all the directions before you begin, Pandora." She shows Pandora how to train her kitten. Soon Pandora's kitten turns into a fluffy raven chick and back again. Next, the students head to the witch's kitchen. All the witches must learn a stew, a fine cauldron of witch's brew, says Miss Broomstick. She hands out the ingredients: a clump of cobwebs, a handful of snake tongues, a pinch of toad warps, an armload of bat fur, a bucket of alligator's armpit, and of course 1 eye of newt each. Miss Broomstick and the children chant, "Hocus pocus stinky stew, change into a witch's brew." "I can make my brew bubble like my mother's brew," said Pandora. "Your mother's brew is boiling hot," said Miss Broomstick. "Our school brew is safely cold." "It will be safe," says Pandora. "I brought bubble bath to school." "Wait, Pandora," cries Miss Broomstick. "Don't open that box." Too late. Bubbles cover Pandora, the kittens, and all the other little witches too. "Bubble trouble," said Miss Broomstick. "Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Pandora, when will you learn to listen to directions?" The little witch's shoulders slump. Miss Broomstick takes pity on her. It's all right, dear. Let's just clean up. So with the help of Miss Broomstick's magic wand, the kitchen is tidy in no time at all. Now we're going to learn to carve jack-o'-lanterns, Miss Broomstick announces. Make the eyes and nose in the shape of triangles, she tells the class. Is everyone paying attention? Pandora, are you listening? Pandora loves the squishy pumpkin pulp. She squeezes it between her hands until it squirts out. Splat! Oh no, Miss Broomstick is covered with pulp. Great bats and pointed hats, she cries. I'm sorry, Miss Broomstick, wails Pandora. Don't worry, Pandora, I can wipe it off, says Miss Broomstick. But please, please listen to my directions. Once the jack-o'-lanterns have been carved, it is snack time. The little witches love their fried pumpkin seeds. The other witches giggle at Pandora. She is throwing the seeds in the air and catching them in her mouth. Miss Broomstick sighs. Fiddlesticks and broomsticks, she says to herself. Then she calls out, Class, it's time for recess. Pandora organises a game called Bobbing of Toads. The little witches squeak and laugh. What is going on? Said Miss Broomstick. Pandora won, shouted the students. Congratulations, Pandora, says Miss Broomstick. She rolls her eyes. Now spit out that toad and lead your friends to the sink. Gargle, everyone. Ugh. Miss Broomstick noticed the time. My stars, she said, it's already 11 o'clock. At midnight it will be the witching hour. That's when every little witch should be home with her family casting spells or making magic brews. Miss Broomstick passes out sponging. Let's chant our clean-up spell. Icky, acky, dirty grunge, clean it quickly, magic sponge. Oh dear, Pandora's sponge is out of control. She needs Mrs. Broomstick's help again. Now tuck in your kittens, said Miss Broomstick. The tiny black cats are sleepy at the end of a busy night. The little witches gently carry the kittens to bed, but Pandora still wants to play. Calm down, Pandora, says Miss Broomstick. You'll get your kitten all wound up. Nighty-night, little kitty, says Pandora. She runs to say goodbye to the toads in the tub and forgets to shut the kitten's gate. Fetch your jack-o'-lanterns and line up to go home, students, says Miss Broomstick. Pandora turns quickly to listen to Miss Broomstick's directions and bumps into the shelf. Bang! The tub of toads falls. Hop, hop, squeak, squeak. Toads are everywhere. The kittens run out to chase the toads. Thunderations, cries Miss Broomstick. What's going on? Why? It's Pandora again. Miss Broomstick quickly takes charge. Hurry, little witches, she calls. Catch your kittens. The tiny witches catch the kittens. The kittens chase the toads. The toads hop and leap. The little witches shout, Here, kitty, kitty. Kittens hiss and meow. Toads ribbit. Mrs. Broomstick can't believe the wild classroom. She suddenly waves her wand. Suddenly the toads are in the tub. Each kitten stops. The little witches pause, surprised, and look at Miss Broomstick. Kittens to bed, she orders. The students quickly carry their kittens back to bed. This time Pandora closes the gate. Mrs. Broomstick slumps into a chair as the little witches line up to go home with their jack-o'-lanterns. Wait, what's this? Pandora is out of line. She comes over to her teacher. Miss Broomstick, she asks in a small, worried voice. Miss Broomstick? Yes, Pandora. Miss Broomstick, was I any trouble for you tonight? Miss Broomstick leans over and says to the tiny witch, Sweet Pandora, you fill our school night with surprises. I love you, Miss Broomstick, said Pandora, beaming with joy, and I promise to be full of surprises tomorrow. Bye.
The Friendly Witch, written by Rachel Elliott and Leo Broadley. It was very quiet in the forest. Today was the Friendly Witch's birthday. She wouldn't say how old she was, though. But she didn't have any cards. She didn't have any presents, any visitors, and that is the last straw, said the friendly witch. I wish I could have a little birthday party, she said sadly. But as you know, witches don't have fairy godmothers to grant them wishes, so she decided to make a spell herself, a special spell for visitors. I hope I can remember how, thought the friendly witch. It was a long time since she had made a spell, and that had only been a basic prince into a frog potion. She mixed all the ingredients up in her cauldron and whispered what she hoped were the secret magic words. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door. "It's worked," said the friendly witch. "I don't have much room," exclaimed the friendly witch, "but you're all very welcome." Goldilocks was first through the door with all three bears. "Any porridge?" asked Baby Bear hopefully. Beauty and the Beast came in holding hands. "Try to remember your table manners," she whispered to him. Goosey Gander waddled in, holding a left shoe. "It wasn't me," he said. "He just fell." "I wouldn't believe him if I were you," said Little Bo Peep. "You haven't seen my sheep by any chance?" Mary turned her nose up at the garden. "No silver bells or cockle shells," she said, with a disgrace. "I like my little nut trees," said the friendly witch, feeling a bit upset. "The King of Spain's daughter came to see them once, you know." Humpty Dumpty was telling the third little pig all about his latest fall. "I'm accident prone," he boasted. "All the king's horses and all the king's men are outside just in case." "She should have built this cottage out of brick," said the third little pig, who wasn't listening. "I could teach her a thing or two." Miss Muffet was looking for some curds and when a spider turned up. "Help, help, a horrible spider," she screamed. Why do they need that many legs?" "I love spiders," cried the friendly witch. "I love spiders," cried the friendly witch. "They catch all the flies." "I swallowed a fly once," said an old woman in her ear. "Long story." "Could I have a bone for my dog?" asked Mother Hubbard. "Sorry, but my cupboards are bare," said the friendly witch. The fairy godmother appeared in a puff of sparkling smoke. "I can't stay long," she snapped. "I have to stop Sleeping Beauty snoring before the prince gets there." "Does anybody want to see a magic trick?" called Aladdin, clutching an old lamp. "I've seen it all before," said the fairy godmother. "Don't rub that lamp," shouted the friendly witch. "There's no room for a crack." "Too late," exclaimed Aladdin. "Who invited the genie?" grumbled Rumpelstiltskin, who could hardly squeeze into the packed little cottage. "He's standing on my beard." Just when the friendly witch thought it couldn't get any louder, a fine lady rode up on a white horse. I must have music wherever I go," said the fine lady haughtily. She had rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. She was followed by the Pied Piper and far too many rats for comfort. Old King Cole's fiddlers three struck up a catchy tune. The Sugar Plum Fairy was teaching the big bad wolf how to pirouette. He really wanted to dance with one of the three little pigs. The 12 dancing princesses waltzed in, looking for partners. "There isn't really room for that," cried the friendly witch. "Not more princesses," sighed the fairy godmother. Simple Simon asked Red Riding Hood to dance, but she stuck her tongue out at him. She wasn't a very polite little girl. I wish they would all leave me alone. Shazam! The peace, the silence. It was wonderful to have the cottage to herself again. It was very quiet in the forest. The friendly witch didn't have any music. She didn't have any dancing. She didn't even have any visitors. And after a while, she started to wonder if the party had really been all that bad. After all, it would have been nice to have a few visitors again, she sighed. Sometimes I wish. Shazam! The end.
When the people are away, Anne Jugman and Linda Birch. That's a lot of kittens. Oop. The children stood in the driveway and cried. What's wrong? Asked Mum. Don't you want to go and visit Granny? Yes, sniffed the boys. But what about the cats? Will they be all right without us? Don't worry, said Mum. I've arranged for Sandra from over the road to feed them. You'll be all right, won't you, cats? The two ginger cats sat in the drive and blinked at Mum. Come on, boys, she said. We'll be back in a few days. Well, said Magnus, that's got rid of them for a while. I shall miss them, said Lulu. Nonsense, replied Magnus. You know what they say, when the cat's away, the mice will play. But Magnus, we haven't got away and there aren't any mice. Well, I've adapted the saying a bit, Lulu. Now it's when the people are away the cats will play, Magnus told her. We'll play something different each night. Tonight we're going to have an all-night disco. Go and spread the word. So later that night, all the cats in the neighbourhood trooped into Magnus and Lulu's house. There was lots of loud music and the cats danced all night. For the whole of the next day, the cats slept. When Sandra came to feed them, they didn't even hear her. When Magnus and Lulu woke up, Lulu asked, What are we going to do tonight? Tonight, Magnus informed her, we are going to have an all-night video show. Go and spread the word. So that night the cats gathered and watched cartoons. It's Tom and Jerry, Magnus told them. You all know what to do. So the cats cheered every time Tom the cat came on and booed when Jerry the mouse came on. The cats really enjoyed themselves. The next evening, Lulu asked again, What are we going to do tonight, Magnus? An all-night, all-in wrestling competition, Magnus told her. Go and spread the word. That night, all the cats turned up looking very tough. Magnus made them form two lines. Everyone is to wrestle with a cat opposite them, he said. The winner will fight each other. You see all them. So the cats had great fun wrestling with each other. In the end, Magnus won. Magnus is the champ, they cried. The next day, Lulu asked, Can we have a night off? I'm tired. Certainly not, said Magnus. The people will be back soon. Tonight is a great cat singing competition. Go on, go and spread the word. That night, the cats arrived looking very excited. Got all their music, haven't they? You mustn't sing too loudly, Magnus told them. People don't like the sound of cats singing, though I don't know why. We'll be very quiet, promised the cats. so the cats each sang in turn. They were very good, but the best was Lulu. She sang and played the guitar. It was a sad song and everyone cried. Look, even the mice are there watching, aren't they? The next day, Magnus looked at the calendar. Our people are coming back, he told Lulu. This is our last night. Can we have another singing competition? Asked Lulu hopefully. No, said Magnus. Tonight we will have a grand midnight feast. Spread the word. Everyone is to bring something to eat and no tins. We're all tired of tins. So one cat bought a carton of cream. Another bought 2 kippers. Another bought some liver. Another bought some chicken. And another bought some prawns. What a feast we're going to have, said Magnus. That night the cats ate and ate until there was nothing left. They've all got full bellies there, haven't they? A big black cat stood up on the piano. Friends, friends, he cried. Pray silent for a toast. To Magnus and Lulu, our hosts and friends. May their people go away very often. To Magnus and Lulu and their people, chorused all the cats. Thanks, said Magnus. Speech, speech, cried the cats. So Magnus climbed up onto the piano. Friends, he said, fellow cats, we've all had lots of fun. Now, as you know, our people are coming back. Please help us with the cleaning up so that no one knows what has been happening. That way we can do it again. So very soon, 2 of the cats were loading the dishwasher. Another 3 pushed the hoover around with difficulty. 2 others tidied up. Someone dusted and another one polished the silver. By morning, no one could have known that the cats had had a disco, an all-in wrestling competition, an all-night video session, a singing competition and a midnight feast. As soon as the children got back, they rushed into the house to find Magnus and Lulu. Did you miss us a lot? They asked, giving them both a cuddle. But Magnus and Lulu just stretched and yawned and then curled up in their basket and went back to sleep. The end.
Whiff, or How the Beautiful Big Fat Smelly Baby Found a Friend. Ian Wybrow and Russell Alto.
We can't wait for this one, can we, Lily? Because it's going to be so funny.
By a bend in the river lived a beautiful big fat smelly baby, Warthog. His mum and dad were very proud of him. They called him Whiff. They wanted him to make friends and be happy. The crocodiles lived on one side, the monkeys lived on the other side. And right across the street lived the little birds. One day, Mrs. Crocodile knocked on the door. She said, "My baby wants to play with your baby, but tell me, is your baby rough?" "Oh no, my baby's never rough." So Whiff went next door and played very, very gently. But then down came some quickly flies. They tickled their ears and they tickled their eyes. So the crocodile bit his teddy bears, he bashed the table and he crashed the chairs. His teeth went snap and his tail went wee. Down fell the pictures, 1, 2, 3. Mrs. Crocodile was cross. She said to Whiff, "Look what you've done. Go away. You are much too rough to play." So Whiff, the beautiful big fat smelly baby, had to go home in disgrace. Then one day, Mrs. Monkey knocked on the door. She said, My babies want your baby to come to tea. But tell me, has your baby got nice table manners?" "Oh yes, my baby has got lovely table manners." So Whiff went next door to have tea with the monkey babies. He was on his best behaviour. But down came some tickly-quickly flies. They tickled their ears and tickled their eyes, and cups and saucers flew through the air, and plates went flying everywhere. And the three little monkeys were jumping and squealing, and jelly and custard got stuck on the ceiling. And Mrs. Monkey was very, very cross, she said to Whiff, "Look at this mess. You can't stay. Bad-mannered baby, go away." So Whiff, the beautiful, big, fat, smelly baby, had to go home in disgrace.
Aww.
For a long time it seemed that Whiff would never find a friend. Then one day, Mrs. Little Bird knocked on the door. "My baby would like to play with your baby, but tell me, is your baby a good baby?" "I think he is a good baby, but Mrs. Crocodile says he is very rough. And Mrs. Monkey says he is bad-mannered. They sent him home in disgrace." And Miss Little Bird said, "I can see he is beautiful. I can see he is big and fat, but tell me, is he always smelly?" "Always," said Miss Warthog. "Never mind," said Mrs. Little Bird. "Bring him over." So Whiff went across the street to play with baby Little Bird. They played happily for hours. They played trains, planes, doctors, and jungle Monopoly. But then down came the tickly-quickly flies and started to tickle their ears and eyes. "Oh no, I must leave this place, for very soon I shall be in disgrace." But all of a sudden, with a snap, 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 the baby bird ate all the flies up. Mrs. Little Bird said, "Don't go away, my little baby. Would love for you to stay. But I am rough. I am bad-mannered. Not to us. To us you are a beautiful, big, fat, smelly baby. And what a good thing you are so smelly. Yum, yum, more flies to come." And that is how the beautiful, big, fat, smelly baby found a friend.
Aww.
The end.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yeah. Hope you like them, Maggie. Bye.
Hi Maggie, and this is the final story. John Grogan's Marley Goes to School, and it's illustrated by Richard Cowdrey. It was the first day of school, and Cassie laid out her back-to-school supplies. Pencils, check. Crayons, check. Ruler, check. Marley was all set for the big day too. By the front door he laid out his supplies. A chewy bone, uff. Squeaky toy, woof. Liver treats, woof. Favourite blankets, woo. Baby Louie called round the corner. "Where do you go to school too?" he explained. Mummy looked at Marley thumping his tail by the front door. "I don't think so, big boy," she said. "I definitely don't think so," added Daddy. "You silly dog," Cassie said, patting Marley on his big square head. "School's for children, not dogs." Marley cocked his head and let out a low whine. Cassie was his best friend, and he was used to going everywhere she went. To the park, to the playground, to Grandma's house, even to bed. "Grab your backpack," Mummy called out. "We don't want to be late." "Huff, huff," Marley said, grabbing his lead in his teeth and hopping up on his hind legs and dancing by the door. "Huff, huff yourself," Mummy said. "You're going in the garden where you can't get into trouble." "Good idea," said Daddy, and the whole family set off to walk Cassie to school. Oh, he looks sad. Marley didn't stay in the garden for long. He started to dig, and he dug and he dug and dug, and the dirt flew up behind him till it formed a great big pile, a real Mount Marley. Up flew Mummy's marigolds, out flopped Daddy's daffodils, away went Cassie's carrot patch. Soon he had cleared a nice cosy tunnel under the garden fence, and with a wiggle and a waggle and a whip-whop of his tail, he belly crawled to freedom. Marley sniffed his way to the pavement. He looked both ways, all clear, followed Cassie's scent straight to the front door of the school. The front door was propped open. They're expecting me, Marley thought as he walked right in. Down the corridor he trotted, stopping in each room in search of his beloved Cassie. Marley tried the photocopying room. Not in here, he thought, and he took a moment to leave a calling card. Look at all them photocopies. He tried the canteen, but where the cooks were busy making lunch, he didn't find Cassie, but Marley found the next big thing, a huge pile of juicy hot dogs. Well, I don't mind if I do. Hey, you're not supposed to be in here, one of the dinner ladies yelled. Shoo, go home, answered Marley. And he trotted over to the music room, where the orchestra was warming up. She's not here either, thought Marley. And then he joined the band for a song, playing the drums. In the science lesson, Marley did not find Cassie, but he did find a cage with 10 white mice inside. What you doing in there? With a scratch of his paw and a flip of his nose, Marley opened the cage door and the mice scampered to freedom. He barked excitedly as to ask, "Who wants to help me find Cassie?" Marley followed the mice to the library, where the quiet didn't last long. "Mice!" screamed a little girl. "Big fat ones!" shouted a little boy. Marley raced to the gym, where he suddenly forgot all about Cassie. When the dog saw a ball, he could think only one thing: catch me if you can. "Hey!" yelled the teacher. "Hey!" yelled the children. "Come back with our ball!" But Marley did not come back. He streaked down the hall, skidded round the corner, did a somersault and slid right into Mrs. Weatherby's maths lesson. Mrs. Weatherby peered through her thick glasses as she wrote on the blackboard. "Oh my," she announced, "we've just received a report of a wild animal on the loose in our school. If you come across this animal, stay back. He may be dangerous." "Yes, Miss Weatherby," the student says. "Has anyone seen him?" "No, Miss Weatherby," the student says, but they had seen him. And helped make sure that Mrs. Weatherby would not. When the bell rang, Marley's ears pricked up. Outside he heard the happy shriek of children playing. There was no sound Marley loved more than the sound of children at play. He headed towards it. "Not so fast, naughty boy," the voice came from behind him. Gulp. It was the headmistress, Mrs. Peabody. She seized Marley by the collar and read his tag. "Ah, Cassie's dog. I should have known." She tied Marley to the radiator with a rope. "Face the corner," she said. "I'm calling your parents." And when Mrs. Peabody returned 2 minutes later, all she found was half a rope, wet with dog drool. "Oh no," she said. "There he goes," shouted the deputy headmaster, Mr. Tanner. "He's heading to the playground." "I'll head him off," cried the gym teacher. "I'm on his tail," declared Mrs. Weatherby, shaking her fist. "Tackle him," screamed the dinner ladies. The grown-ups chased Marley across the playground. They chased him through the tunnel and over the tyres and under the hoops. They chased him around the climbing frame and down the slide. They chased him under the swings and past the seesaw. They chased him right into Cassie's arms. "Marley!" Cassie shrieked with delight. "You did come to school." "Is that your dog?" Mr. Tanner asked. Cassie said. "He looks somewhat familiar." "There you are," Mummy and Daddy yelled. "Bad dog, Marley." "Ba boo boo waddy," Baby Louie said. Now, said Mrs. Peabody. "All's well that ends well." And Marley was so happy he jumped in the air and gave her the headmistress a big, fat, sloppy kiss right on the lips. And he got an award for being the teacher's pet. Look. And the mouse on there. Wasn't that a lovely story? I hope you liked our stories, Maggie. As I say, we had to wait to buy these books, for Jessie wanted to make sure that she got the right books for you to read. So we'll find some more. We'll sort some more books out soon and we'll read you some more stories. But we just wanted you to have a few more different ones that you could listen to. So take care, look after yourself, and me and Jessie will speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.